Sovereign of Fortune by Mason Paul. Copyright 2024, all rights reserved. Fireballs rumbled across the night, their hellish glow illuminating the twisted faces of the dead. A thick cloud of smoke wormed its way across the sky, the stench of sulfur searing the lungs of the final 5 defenders of the fallen bear castle. Their valiant effort to hold off the demon army came to an end when a mysterious blast from beyond, the likes of which none had seen before, blew away the gates. Demons, grotesque and relentless, poured in, leaving death in their wake. Desperation mounted. The party had bet their lives, perhaps even their souls. They could hold off the hellish host long enough for the survivors to escape through secret tunnels below. Did they wager wrong? "To the courtyard!" shouted the wizard. His third eye channeled a rough mental map of the castle. While he saw much, he did not see all. He knew there was an exit there somewhere, but he didn't know where. "Fly!" "We're flying again?" grumbled the barbarian. "Did the conjurer turn us to birds whilst we slept?" "You sleep still, fool!" the wizard snapped, sending a lightning bolt into a column of demons, stunning but not stopping them. "Can't you see we're outmatched?" "Things were just starting to get interesting," the barbarian barked, banging his axe against his shield. "I'm here for a good time, not a long time." "Let us fly, brother," said the knight, leading the hulking barbarian away. "Let us find our good times in mead and song, in a tavern far from here." The barbarian flashed a toothy smile. "And busty barmaids?" The knight sighed. "The bustiest." "For the love of the gods," groaned the tall, blonde ranger, rather busty herself. "Can we just fly already?" The wizard covered the retreat, while the rest ran for their lives. They flew as fast as their feet could carry them through winding alleys until they reached the courtyard. Once a thriving market square, the courtyard was now covered in smoldering rubble. "I don't see an exit," cried the ranger, scanning the area with her steely blue eyes. "Keep looking," urged the wizard, trading fire with the enemy, deflecting incoming chaos blasts with a static force field. "We're out of time!" roared the knight, his voice cracking in desperation. The clamor of screaming demons filled the air as they poured into the courtyard. The party was surrounded. "The only way out now is to fight!" thundered the knight, raising his shield just in time to stop a negative energy blast from melting his face off. The demons appeared to be taunting them from across the courtyard, hissing and howling in their ancient tongue. "What are they saying?" the ranger demanded. "Trust me, you don't want to know," the wizard replied. "They're telling us they're going to peel our skins and make us watch them wear them," the barbarian volunteered. "Among other things, yes," the wizard confirmed. "I did not know you spoke the infernal tongue." "Like minds think alike," the barbarian growled, banging his axe against his shield. "We'll see who skins ho!" he shouted across the courtyard. "What are they waiting for?" the ranger wondered aloud, letting an arrow fly. She smirked as her enchanted arrow sailed straight into a demon's eye socket, plunging into its skull. It laughed, plucked the arrow from its head, and hurled it back at her like a javelin. She barely had time to move out of the way, averting the same injury she inflicted, which undoubtedly would have had a different result. She spat a curse, knocked another arrow, and took aim. But she was halted by the bejeweled hand of a seafaring swordswoman, wearing too much gold to pass for an honest sailor. "These arrows be like yar precious heart, lass. Save 'em for those who will truly treasure 'em," quipped the rogue. "They're shaking in their scaly boots," the barbarian boasted. "If ye say so," said the rogue, "but methinks they be waitin' for somethin'." "Or someone," the wizard muttered under his breath. "Let us wait no longer," the knight declared. "Prepare to attack on my command." "At last," the barbarian roared. "Time to split some ribs." Suddenly, the sky darkened. A hot, fetid wind swirled through the courtyard, sending dust and debris flying everywhere, forcing the party to cover their faces and brace themselves from being blown over. "What new evil is this?" the knight demanded. The wizard knew. One of their worst nightmares was about to come true. "Dragon!" The enormous winged monster plummeted from the sky, its impact knocking them off their feet. Then, as they struggled to regain their balance, the creature released a head-splitting roar, forcing them to cover their ears and abandon all hope. The wizard's eyes rolled to the back of his head as he consulted his third eye. Their fate would be sealed if this were any dragon. But as their bad luck would have it, this was something far worse. A demon dragon. This fiend is far beyond our power, the wizard lamented. We must flee or die. There's no place to flee, so we will make our final stand, the knight commanded. There is an exit nearby, the wizard insisted. I swear. The rogue frantically scanned the courtyard, her eyes falling on overturned vegetable carts and an old ivy-covered well. Thar be nothing here but junk, she spat, panic rising in her chest. Then it hit her. The well! She burst into a mad dash towards the well, the others fast behind her. That's when the dragon opened its massive maw and blew fire. You may feel helpless now, but know all that's required is a faithful heart, a fearless mind, passion, and desire. The Keeper. Zack woke up screaming. His heart was racing, his body slick with sweat. Disoriented, he scanned the room. For a moment, he didn't know where or even who he was. Yet, little by little, familiarity crept back in. A pile of textbooks loomed on top of a desk, besieged by an army of empty monster cans, with an attaché of disheveled stacks of notebook paper. A saber lay leisurely atop a crumpled backpack reposing in a broken office chair, beneath a Pink Floyd poster. The wall, hanging slightly askew. In the corner, his trusty dusty Stratocaster sat lonely and forlorn among a tangled rat's nest of cables. As he recognized his surroundings, realization dawned. He was in his dorm. What a nightmare, he muttered to himself, still trembling. He couldn't remember a single detail about the dream, only terror and fire. The memory of the night before, however, remained clear. Zack's eyes darted to his phone, hoping for a message or missed call from Kirby, the cute blonde he couldn't stop thinking about. Nothing since her last text at 9:31 last night. Running late, stopping to shower, text you when I leave. A crush on Kirby had taken root in the first quarter of freshman year, but summoning the courage to even try to talk to her took 2 whole school years. They had been out once before, more an impromptu math tutoring session in her dorm room than a date. It's not like he was a math wizard, but after flunking calculus twice before finally making a passing grade, he could wing it enough to impress the girl of his dreams. This time, she had agreed to meet him at the student center after flag corps practice. Dinner at Ebook Coffee, a 24-hour off-campus coffee shop, and homework were the plans. Now, it looked like she'd stood him up. She didn't even bother to text me that she couldn't make it. The television, left on mute from the night before, caught his eye. A blown-up photo of a pretty girl around his age graced the screen. The news banner read, 6th student within 30 days disappears. Police seeking any information on the last whereabouts of UT student Amy Cho, missing 3 weeks. A chill ran down Zack's spine. Maybe Kirby was kidnapped. His calls went straight to voicemail. Maybe she lost her phone or the battery died, he told himself, trying to shake off the fear. Suddenly, he remembered something almost just as disturbing. Damn it! Today is Thursday. He checked the time, already 10 minutes late for physics lab on the other side of campus. If he hustled, he could cut that time in half. Being late wasn't the end of the world, but staying on Professor Ravenna's good side was crucial when he was barely passing. He jumped out of bed and threw on a well-worn Dark Side of the Moon t-shirt, a pair of dirty jeans, and some sneakers. As he rushed out the door, his pocket buzzed. Someone was calling. He didn't have time to talk. He had to hurry and get to lab. What if it's Kirby? Zack answered, without looking to see who it was. Hello? He huffed, walking and talking. What's up, bro? Damn it, it's just Kevin. What's up? Zack replied, hot-footing it across the quad. You sound out of breath, Kevin said. Zack could hear the sly smile on his best friend's face. Hope I'm not interrupting a morning smash session. Like I would answer the phone. Knowing you, you would, Kevin taunted. How did your date go? It wasn't a date, it was a study meetup, Zack panted, and she didn't show. Zack ran into a traffic jam of students at the top of a stairway. Thinking fast, he decided to save time by jogging down the dewy hillside instead. Whoa, she stood you up? Kevin queried, trying to sound sympathetic. Yeah, Zack exhaled, feeling embarrassed. Suddenly, Kevin heard a sudden squeak as Zack slipped. He landed on his backside with an oof. then slid down the hill and halted at the fancy shoes of some sorority sisters practicing a dance routine on the lawn. They didn't burst into laughter immediately. It all happened so fast. First, they froze. He startled them. Then their eyes checked in with each other, agreeing on the socially appropriate response. The cute co-eds cackled like a coven of witches. Zack was mortified. "What's going on?" Kevin's distant, tinny voice demanded. "Nothing," Zack panted, breathing harder than ever. Kevin burst into obnoxious laughter himself. For a second, it crossed Zack's mind that Kevin had somehow seen the whole thing. "Of course, the hottest girl on campus stood you up," Kevin crowed. "You're lucky she went out with you in the first place. She was throwing you her panties. And what did you do?" "She invited me to help her with math," Zack corrected, collecting himself off the grass. Kevin laughed. "Keep telling yourself that. You blew your chance. Now she thinks you're gay and has moved on." "Just kick me when I'm down," Zack protested, picking up speed again. "Look, Zack, you've got to take more chances," Kevin said sternly. "Every time I take a chance, I end up falling flat on my ass," Zack whined, rubbing the stain on his pants. "So?" Kevin dismissed. "I just don't want to look stupid." "Nothing you can do about that," Kevin taunted. "You were born looking stupid. What can I say? You got resting stupid face. Might as well get laid." "You're really helping a lot," Zack said. "You're welcome," Kevin retorted smugly. "Look, stop obsessing over one chick and go talk to some other girls. Campus is crawling with them? I don't know. Meantime, you gotta come over right away. I got just the thing for you. I got physics lab. Come over after that. I got fencing after that." "Fencing? Are you fucking kidding me? You mean with swords and shit?" "Well, actually, I fence saber and—" Zack's ear split as Kevin burst into another round of obnoxious laughter. "No wonder you're not getting laid," Kevin mocked. "You're literally training to become Sir Save-A-Ho." Zack frowned. "Why are you wasting your time with that?" Zack didn't have an answer. He loved the sport, even if he wasn't that good at it. Maybe he just went to watch Jasmine, the president of the fencing club. She had the most amazing ass. "Don't knock it until you try it," Zack shot back. "I have better things to do, if you know what I mean," Kevin snickered. "Whatever," Zack replied. "Gotta go. You're coming over later, right?" "I need to study. I'm flunking physics. Adventure calls, Zack. I need to pass physics or I'm going to get kicked out again. Maybe college isn't for you?" "Look, I'm really running late and—" "Later. Sucker!" Click! Zack shoved the phone in his pocket before bumping into a couple. "Watch where you're going, jackass," snapped a juiced-up meathead crammed into a letter jacket. Afraid of confrontations and running late, Zack ignored him and kept going. "Zack?" A girl's voice called out. Zack had been waiting to hear that voice all night. He whipped around. "Kirby?" There she was in the flesh, as radiant as ever, holding a thick stack of flyers and standing next to the meathead. "Sorry about last night," she apologized. "It's okay," Zack sighed, captivated by her sparkling blue eyes. "What happened? I was just, really tired, so, after practice I, passed out." "Me too," Zack replied sympathetically. "They let him on the flag corps?" The meathead scoffed, scowling like a constipated gorilla. "No, silly," Kirby quipped, playfully slapping his massive arm. "Another time?" Zack squeaked, his voice faltering as he looked down at the floor. Maybe," Kirby demurred, crossing her legs, her eyes darting about. "By the way, do you know Hunter?" she piped cheerfully. She slapped the meathead on the arm again. He scowled on command. Zack knew him all right. Who didn't know Hunter Connor Greenway, president of the Alpha Omegas, starting offensive lineman, and captain of the wrestling club? An embarrassing memory flashed in Zack's mind of teenage Hunter towering over him in a locker room, crowing, "It's noogie time!" "Oh, what's up? Zack?" Hunter greeted, his demeanor softening. "I didn't recognize you. Looks like you put on a few pounds." "Zack is helping me with math," Kirby beamed. Hunter chuckled. "Yeah, he used to help me with my math too." Zack winced as he recalled high school, Hunter punching him in the shoulder for answers during tests while the math teacher wasn't looking. Rumor had it Hunter had been with every hot girl on campus. He wondered what Hunter was doing with Kirby. To be continued.